Aloha and welcome to the East Oahu Realty Report 2017 Year in Review.
If we look at the big picture, we can see that house prices in the United States rose almost 7% from the third quarter of 2016 to the third quarter of 2017.
It was driven by persistently low inventories of houses available for sale, strong buyer confidence, and generally favorable economic conditions.
The growth over the past year was in line with the extraordinarily high appreciation we've seen for many years now. As of the third quarter of this year, house prices were more than 34% higher than they were 5 years ago.
Over the latest 4 quarters, home prices rose in all 50 states and the District of Columbia. The strongest markets continue to be out west. Out of the top 10 highest appreciating areas, 8 are western states with annual appreciation ranging from 8.5% to 11.5%. The pace of house price appreciation income growth has been much stronger of late, but the house price gains of the last few years have far exceeded income growth. In most markets, one key factor, of course, will be mortgage rates. If rates rise from their relatively low levels, that could have a moderating influence on future price increases.
Hawaii was ranked third in the nation with a 10% price appreciation after states like number 1, the District of Columbia, and number 2, Washington, both up nearly 12%.
The city and county of Honolulu is up 4% year over year and remains strong in price appreciation. Honolulu is ranked 187th in the nation after cities like number 1, Seattle, Bellevue, Everett, Washington, and number 2, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, both up around 14%.
If we look at the nation's financial stress index at the end of 2017, it was at negative 1.4 points. You can see we are down from the index's highs of nearly 6 points during the last recession, highlighted in red.
From active and new listings to months of supply, the supply indicator levels are mixed. Months supply still remains historically low at 2.5 months.
There were over 3,900 single-family home closings in 2017. This is up over 6% year over year. Condominiums had a 7% jump to over 5,800 sold units. Over time, we can see the peak and trough pattern that demand follows.
If we overlay months supply on this demand chart, we can see the inverse relationship between supply and demand over almost 3 decades. Currently, supply is low and demand is high.
The effect of this low supply and high demand is likely what is putting upward pressure on median sales price. In December, prices rose nearly 3% in single family to $750,000 and up almost 4% to $405,000 for condominiums. Real estate expert Eddie Flores predicts median price for single family homes could hit $1 million by 2022.
If we compare December's market velocity and price point on Oahu single-family homes, we can see it is fairly consistent at the low end of prices at just below 20 days on the market to sell. Once we hit 1.1 to $1.9 million, it jumps 59% to 30, and then at 1.9 million plus, it more than doubles to 63 days. The breaking point is at about $1.1 million. Anything below that in single-family homes, on average, is sold in several weeks, and above that could take months. For condominiums, the break occurs roughly at $700,000. The break-even point had previously been at $475,000 and has moved up this quarter.
Days on market is a good measure of market velocity, or how quickly homes are selling. In 2017, market velocity for both categories is just over 2 weeks to sell. Market velocity is up about 6% for single family and 10% for condominiums.
In this chart, we can see the amount of real estate loans relative to total bank assets over the last 40 years. This indicates bank exposure to real estate purchases. Too low of a number is negative, and too high can indicate a bubble. We are currently at 26%. This is off 9 points from the ratio's high of 35% in the peak of the market in 2006.
The line in the graph represents an index that tracks Hawaii's economic activity. We can see the last 5 U.S. recessions highlighted in gray. Since the spring of 2009, the index has recovered almost 50 points.
Visitor spending hit a record high of nearly $17 billion in 2017. This is up over 6% year over year. This represents a record visitor-generated state tax revenue of about $2 billion. In addition, tourism-supported jobs reached a new record of about 200,000.
In 2017, visitor days hit a new record of nearly 84 million. This was up nearly 5% year over year.
Arrivals in 2017 broke last year's record by growing 5% year over year to nearly 9.4 million visitors. This was boosted by growth in arrivals from both air service, up about 5%, and cruise ships, up over 12%.
In summary, for 2017, prices were up for both single-family homes and condominiums. Supply remains low. Market velocity is just over 2 weeks to sell, and there is stability in Hawaii's economy.
The neighborhood of the year is Ainahaina Kuli'o'o single-family homes. Demand is up. There was a 15% increase to 94 closed sales in 2017. Supply has decreased. There was a 3% decrease in new listings to 138.
This high demand and low supply may have caused Ainahaina Kuli'o'o single-family homes median price to rise 13% to $1,240,000. These numbers earn Ainahaina Kuli'o'o single-family homes the neighborhood of the year.
With the help of a proven professional, you can navigate this often confusing and difficult process with ease. When you work with East Oahu Realty, you work with a team of knowledgeable and experienced professionals equipped with special expertise. Thank you for watching, and until next quarter, aloha.